Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. Gina with you doing our 3 across in a Tesla Model Y, which is sometimes known as like one of the hardest installations to do. And the reason being is going to be these buckle stock components. They're fixed very, very strongly in their position, and this one over here on my side, I don't know if you can see, tends to get covered up by this guy. So we're doing the 3 across rear facing and forward facing with the Nuna EXECs because this belt plate that they have for both rear and forward facing enables you to slide the seat around, get the correct positioning, and then tighten it at the end, which is critical for a 3 across. So if you want to head to the back, I'm just going to show this one important step. This piece right here is a strap on the back of the seat. It hooks up to these areas here, and this is called your top tether. It's the most important thing to make sure you do on a rear facing installation. So I'm going to get mine set. I'm not going to tighten it like crazy, but I'm at least going to get it set up in sort of the right positioning to be able to make that meaningful for me. Now, for this one, we open up the forward facing belt path, and the belt is going to come through. And no, you're probably not going to be able to use your cup holders in a 3 across situation. So we're not going to have a discussion about if the cup holders are still going to work, because they won't when there's 3 next to each other. So we're going to buckle in, and then we've got, again, that flexibility to move this guy over if we need to. I am not going to close this plate yet. I'm going to get the next seat, and we're going to get this position going over. So for this guy, we're going to do the same thing sort of as we did when we were doing the 3 across rear facing. We're going to open up the plate, get the belt going, get it buckled, and then position the seat in. Which sounds crazy, but it's going to give us better access to that very, very awkward window that we have going on right there. And we may even pull this seat further forward to have access to that. And if it doesn't work out, we can just undo one and redo it. But I think it'll work. I tried it before I even got started to make sure. They all did. My cameraman may have to move for better vantage point, which is completely fine. Okay, so now, even if you can't see, I'm just telling you what's going on. I'm gonna move these seats in a way so that I'm able to get at that buckle. And again, I'm sure this looks absolutely crazy, but this is why this particular product does so well for me in this type of scenario. All right, so we've got these 2 monsters set up next to each other. Now we'll get the 3rd one going, but I might actually lock these 2 in before I even do the 3rd one. I think that's going to make the most sense. So give me 1 second. I'm going to crawl in and get this guy locked. All right. So now my goal would be to pull out any additional slack. Get this positioned relatively evenly. And I will spend a little bit of extra time on these first ones, just to make sure. Oof, okay. It's not moving. Then we'll lock this guy. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Really want to feed up additional slack. And if I'm unable to from where I'm sitting, I'm going to go in and pull it from the inside. And if you think this is complicated, oh, we didn't do the top tether. Hang on, let me get at least that loosened. It's that piece that I said was really important. And again, this is like why installing this seat is so nice. I'm able to have the flexibility to reach behind and get that piece freed so that I'm able to put it and attach it to the back. So see, even for professionals, we want to make sure we're doing all the correct steps. Okay, I freed that piece. I'll be able to hook that up at the end. Thanks for bearing with me. The next one, we won't make that error. Go ahead and pull and get it as tight as we can. Then I'm going to close down on that door. Perfect. Locked. Not moving. Sweet. Okay, so these two are good. Now we'll get our third one in. All right, so here we are with our last seat. This was the piece I neglected on the last one, so we're gonna do this first this time. Undo that, top tether, make sure that's coming over the back. We're gonna hook these guys up at the end, top tethers. And then this one, same story as the last two. When you don't have brand new seats, generally you don't have all this stuff on them, but these seats are brand spanking new. And take the seat belt. It's gonna run through your forward-facing belt path, go through both sides. And thankfully over here, I've got really good access to my buckle. That's what's nice about this side, which is why doing it last makes sense. Get that over. And now we're gonna scoot this in as much as we can and tighten it up. And then we're gonna go ahead and adjust our top tethers on the back and lock the belts off, and we will be completely installed. Moving. Okay, perfect. Now, let's close it up. Okay, so with this guy, you're gonna go up, hook on, down there, and then we wanna pull these for tightness. Now, when they're more centered, this will sit directly in the center of the headrest, but for right now, based on what I'm doing, this is how I'm gonna do it. They loosen, hook on, and then you pull. I like to pull toward myself, get all that extra slack, and get them really as tight as you can. See, just when we think there isn't extra, there's always extra. So I like to double, triple check. And then we'd lock the belts off. You want to listen for that retraction noise. And these guys are here. In a dream world, we would put little rubber bands on these to keep them all together, and that's actually what this is for, to keep it all nice and neat, so that these never come out and wrap under a wheel well, and that's the real reason why you want to make sure that those are short. So if you come to the front, you'll see again. As you can see, what we've been able to achieve here is 3 across forward and 3 across rear. These seats hold 50 rear facing, forward 65. They are also booster seats, which is awesome. So yeah, is Nuna really the best choice for 3 across in a lot of situations based on the flexibility of how those plates enable you to position the seats around. I would really give them a huge advantage over a lot of other brands. And I really appreciate my customer for lending me the car and for Nuna for making awesome seats. So if you have follow-up questions, leave them below. Please hit like or subscribe. And yeah, super happy to answer questions. Thanks so much for watching.